How the hell do I get a chart again on this? Super charts. Aha, here we go. All right, cool. So now I go back to YouTube and then I click on this. All right, you guys supposed to be seeing my screen now. You guys see my screen? Yeah, I know, right? GJ boy. I'm still actually in a sell on GJ, which sucks. I've been in a sell from when? I think it's from Wednesday. I have the sell, and when I jump out of the sell, I'm still down. So I'm waiting for the push down. I'm expecting it to push down still. So yeah, as you can see, I take those entries on GJ, and I'm still in the sell right now. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But GJ Jeff definitely be tripping, man. All right, peeps. So, you ready? We can go through some charts.
All right, peeps. So, you ready? Can go through some charts.
Ooh, wow.
Can go through some charts. Ooh, wow. Can go through some charts.
Are you guys hearing me? Oh, yes. So this candle is moving down now. What I'm anticipating is that this candle is going to come down to top at least 191. But let's do like a full on breakdown. Let's do like a full on breakdown and see where we are. Let's start from the 1 month candle. So right now on the 1 month, this is the 1 month candle, the 1 month, this look weird. Right, so let's see. 3 months. Okay. All right. So we're in the second month of the year, right? And we have seen where price actually broke above here. It came on top it and then it closed above there. Price has actually not moved really for the past 3 months. So it's basically ranging in this area. Based on how this candle looks, I'm expecting price to actually continue to come down. I'm anticipating that price might actually come down and tap back here before doing anything else, right? So I'm still overall bearish on price. Well, the overall is bullish because as you can see, price is going up. You know what I mean? As you can see, this is an uptrend. So we have price pushing up, and then it start ranging in this area right here. Right? So we're still believing to be on the uptrend, but as you know, price moves in waves, right? So price push up from here, did a pull back, and then there's a long push up here. Then it started to range in this area. Now, I anticipate that price is going to continue to push up, but before it pushes up, it needs to come down and grab some liquidity, grab some momentum, and then push up, right? So I'm expecting that you're going to have some sales back to this area before you have that push up. That's my anticipation, all right? That's what I am looking at. Don't know if it is going to happen, but that's what I am looking at as a possibility, right? So as this candle looks now, I don't foresee this candle just pushing up. It very well could, But before it pushes up, I believe it needs to pull back a little bit more. Um, so yeah, so that is what I'm thinking. As you can see, price is still maintaining. We look on the monthly time frame, price is still maintaining above here. Price came down here, pulled back, came back down. So it hasn't really closed above here, right? So my anticipation is that possibly for the next, how much more days I have in the month? Right, the month's too done, guys. We have 11 days in the month. Oh shit. Um, Yo, February done quick, man. But yeah, so we'll have this level right here that price is currently at. I believe that what might happen is price might just continue to range in this area, and then a new candle might form, and then create a wick to the downside, and then close with a body to the upside strong. So that's what I'm anticipating that will happen, right? So that is a possibility. So I'm still bullish. The overall is bullish, but currently I'm still bearish because I believe the short term is sell, but the long term is buy. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, right? On the weekly, again, where we are now in the weekly, as you can see, price is ranging all over right here. So we're in a range currently. So price came down and then it just started to range. Right? So really and truly, price is currently ranging. Price is currently ranging, which looks like something like this. So let's see if we can refine our levels. So price is keeping below this 198.879, but is maintaining above 189.974. So last week we had a candle that closed very strong bullish, right? So this week we anticipating that the move will continue bullish to at least that minimum right up to here. All right. So one of two things I believe is going to happen. Either price is going to come down and tap right here and then push up, or price going to push up first, tap right here with a wick, and then start to push down. But I'm leaning more towards this being the play. So price going to start to drop, create a bottom wick down here, and then push up, right? So I'm still expecting that my sales will actually play out that I'm currently in, right? Um, let's look at the daily. On the daily, as you can see, price closed below here last week, Friday. So that would mean that there's still enough room for price to actually come back down here and then push up. So we're expecting that price would come actually down to this area and then push up right here. So this was actually the area I was targeting when I got into the trade. So hopefully it still does play out that way. All right. So I'm expecting more sells to come down to right here before price does anything else, whether it wants to push up or whatever, or it might just come down here and start to range in this area for the rest of the month and then leave it as like a doji candle for the next month to actually push up, right? So quite a number of things could possibly happen. But for now, I am still biased for sales at the moment. I'm still biased for sales at the moment. Ideally, I'd have wanted the candle to open up without top wick first and then come down, but we'll see how it goes. I'm very mindful of this area right here, which is 191.185. All right. We'll go back to the daily. We can draw a fib level and see where price could possibly be retracing to. So from here to here, it comes back to that same area where I'm telling you that I'm thinking that price is going to tap before it moves up. So this is also a little bit of confirmation that price might just come back to right here before pushing up. Might. It don't mean that it's guaranteed, but there's a great chance that it might. So for now, overall, I'm looking for sells to right here. And then when it comes right here, then I make another decision as to where I want to trade after that. So we'll go to the 4 hour now. We see that there's a range right here. This range has been happening for a few days. Prices has been ranging in this area. Right? So price broke out to the upside and just started ranging. So it's just been here. So I'm expecting price to at least pull back and then push up. That's what my expectation is. So as it relates to the 4 hour, based on how this look, we might either come up, grab some liquidity and then push down, or we might come down, tap into here, and then push up. But for right now, we still need to wait until price breaks out of this consolidation area. We have to wait until the price breaks out. And you don't want to use this consolidation as well. You don't want it to come down even further and say, all right, this is the area that we want to wait on price to break out of. You want it actually break out of this entire area right here. And the good thing is that regardless of which side it break out of, I think we should have enough for a nice push. So this is like 221 pips. And if it breaks out, and come down to here, you're looking at 130 pips thereabout, right? So either side that it breaks out, we're going to be having a nice little push. We're going to be having a nice little area where we can actually make some sales, right? So whether it plays out for a buy or whether it plays out for a sell, we're supposed to can get in for some good trades. Right? Yeah, man, we'll soon check out US 30 and NAS 100 for sure. All right. So anybody have any questions about GJ? Drop it in the chat. If you have any questions, if you're good to go, let me know. So everybody covered on GJ? All right, guys, if you clear, just type 1 in the chat so I can move on. Just give me a 1 real quick. Please, dark, man. Turn on the light. Turn the lights. All right, cool. So we can move on. All right, so we're moving on. So we're moving on, guys. So we're looking at next. Let's look at gold. So we're looking at gold now, right? Gold is now starting to drop as was expected. I was expecting that drop, right? Was expecting that drop. Was expecting the drop earlier, but no, it looked like say gold is actually going to start its descendants. All right. So gold is moving between these two areas. So it's currently ranging, but I'm expecting that it's going to continue to drop. All right. So let's look at the 3 month. We're in the second month of the year. So let's look at how this could actually play out. Let's look at how this could actually play out, right? So here is where price breakout of. So we're expecting that price might or might not come back and retest the area. But currently price created an all-time high here. This is the highest point that price has been to since. And this is a low that is created. So is it going to continue or is it going to actually move to the upside or start to reverse? Let's see. All right, cool. So on the 3-month time frame, right, we realize that we have this strong bullish candle. I'm expecting that this strong bullish candle is going to continue to push up. That's my expectation, right? Or if it comes back, it's going to close. I just believe that for the next month or so, it's going to close bullish. I don't think it's going to flip and drive for the next month. The next month and 11 days, right? And 15 days rather. So I don't expect it to flip and drive in the next month and 15 days. So I'm expecting it to kind of basically range in this area right here, right? So that's what I'm looking at, right? Now let's go to the monthly time frame. On the monthly time frame, as you can see, price closed above this level right here, and then it followed up and tapped into here. So now do we look at this now as the top of the range and then this at the bottom of the range? So now we're in this range right here. So what are we going to do? We're going to now monitor this range to see what we can get. So if we're getting more buys, we can carry buys all the way up to more all-time highs, or this candle can actually start to come back and flip, and then this candle can end up becoming a doji candle, right? So those are the possibilities that could happen on gold as far as I'm concerned. So let's go to the 1 week time frame. On the 1 week time frame, as you can see, this is a nice hammer candle to the top right here, where we'll have this long ass wick, and then price opened up here. So as you can see, guys, we had for the week, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, we've had all of this bullish move. So could it be that no, we're going to start to turn bearish? And if we turn bearish, I'm expecting price to tap at least right here to retest this 1 week zone to then continue to push up if it's going to push up, or it might just drop all the way down. Now, usually we tend to want to wait until gold actually grab a wick, but could this long wick here be the wick that it needed and don't need to go up any further? Or is it going to go up, grab some wick, and then come back down? Those are also possibilities, right? So for right now, we just have to look at, okay, what is currently on the table? And currently on the table, price is actually moving down. So we might get price to continue to move up based on how this new weekly candle open, right? So based on how this new weekly candle open, you might end up getting price to go up before actually coming back down, right? So let's look on the weekly, right? So on the weekly, on the daily, sorry, we'll have this area where price broke out of. Price did come and tap into this area, but then as soon as it tapped here, it rejected, it came back and rejected again. So now I am thinking that at minimum, price should tap this white line and retest this area that it just broke out of, right? So price should tap back into this area right here at some point this week, even probably today, all right? So this is looking good for some sells to at least tap into right here. After I tap into right here, we'll have to just see what's the reaction in this zone. Once we can see what the reaction is in this zone, then we can know if we're going to continue to sell or we're going to buy. But at minimum, based on how this is looking, price might just tap into this area right here, I'm expecting, right? And as you can see, it is looking that way, that price is going to continue to push down, but it might still push up a little bit before it pushes down. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame, right? On the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, there's an area right here that price broke out of, right? So price broke down into this area, it retested and it pushed down, tapped right here, it broke back up, retested and pushed up and tapped to the top. Then it's broken back down now, and then with a strong bullish candle, bearish candle, So now my opportunity would be for price to come back into this area for us to take it down here. So for me, I'd want to see price come back to right here for me to take it down here. This is where I would want to take the trade, because guess what? If I was supposed to take a sell trade right now, if I was supposed to take a sell trade, my stop loss would have to be all the way up here, which don't make any sense. I'd rather see price come back into this area, create a rejection, and then I'll be able to put my stop loss a little bit more to there, and then see if I can go for a 1 to 3 somewhere in here, or even get a close, a tighter stop loss, right? So I would need to see price come up into this region to retest this line before pushing down. Even if we look on the 1 hour, as you can see, there's no structure on the 1 hour still. So we need to have structure. Remember, I tell you guys all the time that how we look at the trend on the higher time frame, the weekly, the daily, the monthly, and even the 4 hour, right? So we look at what the trend is saying, and then on the 4 hour, 1 hour, and 30 minutes, sometimes we look at what the structure is forming. And as you can see right now, the structure is not finished forming on the 1 hour time frame. So structure is not really formed. So this is the previous structure. Then price broke down here. What it hasn't done yet, it hasn't created a lower high. So we're waiting on it to create a lower high so we can get some sells for it to then create a lower low. Another interesting thing that we need to look at, guys, is this area right here. This is interesting now because we never really see this on the higher time frame, but now we're seeing it on the lower time frame, because guess what? Price has rejected from this area several times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So price has actually rejected from this area a couple of times. So definitely, I am not interested in taking a sell right now, because this area is a very hard area to break. And for it to break, I would assume that it would need more energy or more bears up here, to grab some bears up here for it to push down. So even if this push down a little bit, it might start to reject and come back up here before continuing this push down. But as it stands now, I'm not too interested in taking this sell right now. All right. Yeah, even the way it opened up with a gap. So it filled the gap. So if anything, there are some short-term buys to come of this, because I'm definitely expecting that price might just tap into here and then push down. But right now, I'm not convinced of this sell. Only time I'll be convinced of this sell is if price actually breaks and close below in this area, then retest, and then possibly I think about carrying it down. And even at that point, I'm not so sure, because it would have to, for me, clear this entire zone right here for me to feel confident to take sells, right? So we just have to kind of wait until price matures a little bit more, but definitely looking for price to tap back into here before we make a decision as to whether or not we're going to sell. So that is the move for me. I'm not taking a sell until I see price tap back into here, or I see price break down here and then retest for continuation, right? I might, based on how the candles look later on today, I might be interested in a quick buy to the top, because if we could get a buy right here, price reject, is it possible for us to get a 1 to 3? Yeah, it's very possible for us to get a 1 to 3 at minimum. All right, so I might be interested in buys depending on how these candles start to close out and how we see, the candles start to form. So I have 30 minutes left in the 1 hour. So Asia session might carry us back up here. So that's a possibility. So I would say, if you're looking to scalp, you might can get some scalp for buys in Asia session to come up here, but I wouldn't risk too much. I think it would be a very light risk, because we don't know exactly, the structure is not clear, because as I said before, this is not yet broken. This is not yet broken. So we're still in an uptrend overall, right? So until this area gets broken, we can consider it full on buys. But for now, it would need to probably come up here, grab something, and then go down. I don't see full on. I don't see sorry sales. I don't see full on. I don't see full on sales right now. I don't see full on sales right now. All right. All right. So everybody good. If you're good, if you understand, then please to drop some ones in the comments. If you need me to clear up anything for you, please let me know, guys. If you need me to clear up anything for you. But for gold, we're looking for sales, but I'd want to pull back. Right? So if you completely understand and you're good to go, just drop some ones so we can move on to the next pair. Drop some ones in the comments, guys. Come on, let's go. Amazing. All right. I say one person say one. Everybody else good? Come on, guys. Let's go, man. Let's interact. Interaction I'm looking for. It's simple. Just type one. That's all you have to do. There we go. All right. So that's what we're looking at on gold. As it relates to let me tell you the major reason why I'm actually trying to do this on YouTube is because it will be there once I'm done. So I don't need to try and upload anything or anything like that. So you guys will be able to actually go back and see what is it that we were discussing in the chart breakdown, right? So that is that I realized that the last couple of times we had our Sunday chart breakdown, it wasn't recorded. So I want you guys to be able to have this resource that you'll be able to actually go back and you'll be able to see it and go back to it and so on and so forth. So that's why I'm trying to do this live on YouTube. So as time comes on, as time progresses, we get better. So you can look out for more improvements. Wow. All right, guys, I did tell you that NAS and US 30 was going to hit all-time highs, which it did. I haven't really looked at NASA and US 30 all week, but NASA and US 30 has hit all-time highs, right? Now, the thing I've realized about all-time highs is that we can't take it for granted that after the all-time highs, it's going to start to fall, right? We'll have to assume that it's going to continue to go up. So therefore, we have to look at opportunities for buys based off of the fact that it's at all-time highs, right? Because if you think about it, at some point, right, this right here was an all-time high, right? And then this became an all-time high. And then this all-time high was broken. Then this became an all-time high. Sorry. This right here became an all-time high. It was broken. So we can't take for granted that it's going to sell right away. We can scalp some sales, but the overall sentiment is that we want to be moving with the overall trend, which is up. All right. So for me, I'm thinking that we're going to be having some more buys on NAS 100. So let's go to the monthly time frame. On the monthly time frame, look at this big, beautiful, wow, right? Big, beautiful green candle to the upside right here, breaking this previous all-time high, right? Creating a new all-time high, and I'm expecting it to continue to do so. Right? So this is the high of the candle, and this is the low of the candle. I don't expect for the rest of this month that this candle going all of a sudden flip and drive. I don't expect that for the next 11 days. I'm expecting that this candle might pull back a little and then continue to push up. So far, just looking at the monthly candle alone, I'm interested in buys for NAS. I'm not interested in sales unless some ridiculous news come out, unless there's a huge stock market crash and then everything just start to fall. I don't see this happening, especially with stuff going on in the US with Elon Musk and all of these things. I think the sentiments overall for the US market is very strong. So we're going to be pushing up some more for sure, right? As you can see, price closed above here on the weekly, which means that if they're going to be sales are going to come down to about right here, and then price is going to continue to push up because price closed very strong above this ranging area because price was ranging in this area for a good while, right? and it actually tapped into all-time highs and didn't even reverse. So the sentiment is still strong on NAS. So for NAS, guys, I'm I'm only buy focus for NAS. Like there's nothing else telling me anything else but buys for NAS. Right? Nothing else telling us anything else but buys for NAS. Only buys for NAS right now. So that's what we're looking at for NAS. So where we're going to take our entries now, right? So let's tap up here. As you can see, price did still break above here, hold above here. So what we're looking at now is two areas of interest that we can look at for price to pull back to, right? So um, we have this area right here, right? And then we'll have this area right here that we can expect that price will pull back to. So price could possibly pull back to here and then push up, or price could pull back to here and then push up. So this area 21,000 flat, and then we have 21,600 area. You can look at as areas where price could start to reverse and continue its push up, right? And even the momentum that price has now, it could possibly just push up. It could possibly just push up. It might not come all the way back here. So it might just move from anywhere in this area. As you can see, even right here, it's like a fair value gap. So price could just tap into right here and then push up. Right? So for me, guys, it's all about buys for me for NAS, right? Looking for sells only if NAS actually starts to break back down here, reject from there, and then start to push down. But for now, the buys can happen like this, boom, straight up. It can come down here, boom, start to move. It can come down here, boom, start to move. It can even come as far as all the way down here, grab liquidity, and then push up. So there's no sells yet until we see price breaks this and then reject and then start to push down. So my sentiment overall for NAS 100 is buys. Yeah, definitely buys. Definitely buys. As you can see, this area right here is an area where price can actually come back to retest this area. All right. And then this area right here, price bounce off of this area a couple of times. So if price comes back, it might just bounce again. So these two areas are most likely areas for price to bounce from if it's going to bounce. If it breaks this area, then we can expect that price might come down to here and bounce because it has bounced off of here several times. So those are two areas. So you can make note of that. All right. All the guys that trade NAS 100. So that's NAS 100. For me, I'm looking for buys to tap into those areas for price to push up. Anybody have any questions? Everybody good? If you're good, type the number 1 in the chat, please. If not, I can go back over it for you, or I can answer any other question that is related to NAS 100. So everybody good? Can see some ones? All right. Melford, same good. Anybody else? Everybody good? Everybody else good? Come on, guys. Just type some one, man. Just give me some ones now, please. It's not that difficult, man. Remember, I can't hear you, so just typing one in the chat will let me know that you're hearing me and I'm clear. All right. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, let's look at US 30. I know Lashana there, TK there, you know. I know so I'm ready for this now. I don't say Bridget. I don't say Bridget, but US 30. Wow, US 30 is ranging right now. Just based off what I'm seeing on the 4 hour. US 30 is very rangy, but it did tap into all-time highs, which is good. As I said before, guys, what I've noticed, did some back testing, and what I've noticed, oh no, it don't reach all-time highs, It don't break all-time highs yet. It don't break all-time highs yet. See this nice like a wick up here, so this price at 45,089 has not been broken. So it hasn't hit all-time highs, which means that it still has more buys because it's not going to come so close to all-time highs and just drop. So right off the bat, it's looking like there are more buys in US 30. So let's see. Let's look at the 3 month. On the 3 month, as you can see, there's this wick fill. Hasn't completed the wick fill yet. Price is moving up nicely. Of course, somewhat identical to NAS 100 where you have this breakout and it's just been going up since that breakout. Let's look at the monthly time frame. On the monthly time frame, we can see that price has been ranging basically in this area. This is the top of the range right here. And this is the bottom of the range right here. So price has been ranging in this area for basically 1, 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months. Price has been ranging in this area, right? Now, what we saw price do is price tap into here, but it did not break all-time highs, which is interesting. So do we look at price breaking all-time highs and actually pushing up from its candle? It does look very possible. So it looks very possible that this candle is going to break out of the range, right? And if it don't break out of the range, we're still expecting it to grab some highs up here before actually pushing down and closing back into the range. So overall, regardless of what happened, I believe that we're still going to see buys before sells, right? So there's still some buys before sells. Look at the daily now. As you can see, the daily is currently ranging. So the daily is ranging in this area right here. No movement for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days. So for the past 2 weeks, NAS has not moved out of this area. Now, typically when you see stuff like this, how it's going to actually move is that you're going to see this happen, right? So you're going to see price push up, it starts to range, and before it comes out of the range, what you think is going to typically happen right before it comes out of the range? Anybody in the chat? Anybody? What you think typically will happen before it comes out of the range? Let's see if you all are paying attention. Come on, guys. Yo, I saw me know say. I saw me know some people them bright, man. Manipulation, liquidity. That is it, man. That is it, right? So similar to down here, look what happened down here. I teach this to you guys pretty much every week, right? Same thing happened down here. Look at right here, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I teach this to you guys every single week. Every week. The best ways to get a trade is to understand what phase of the market you're in, right? See it here again. Accumulation, manipulation, manipulation, then distribution. Right? So there has to be manipulation after manipulation. There's usually manipulation after accumulation. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's what we're looking for. So similar to right here, this is basically, this is almost identical to where we are now. It's the price ranging for how much days, and then what it's gonna do, it's gonna come and it's gonna break down here and then come back in. So what we're looking for then is we're looking for this area for price to actually break out of this area to the downside, even close. And then once it closed and then close back into this area, then we know that, okay, that was the manipulation for no price to actually distribute. Right? So we're waiting on the manipulation as we complete this accumulation that has been happening for the past 16, 14 days. Right? So all we're waiting on now is manipulation. That's all we're waiting on now, right? So overall, expecting price to actually tap and create all-time highs, but before it does that, we want to see price actually come down into this area at some point before pushing up. All right? We can even mark off this area as an area of interest as well. As you can see, price reacted to this area a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we won't be surprised if price actually come back to this area, create some manipulation down here as well, and then push up to the upside. Right? But we want to see price pull back first, some more before pushing up. And if it does push up out of here, we want to see it come back and retest, and then we'll grab the entry here, stop loss below there, and grab something to the next all-time high. All right, so that is what we're looking at for US 30. So for those who trade US 30, patience is going to be your friend this week. Patience is everything this week for you. If you want to catch the right trade, you have to be patient, right? So we'll have to wait for a pullback. Okay, so that is what I would say for persons who trade US 30. Have to wait for the pullback, have to wait for the liquidity grab, and then once you see all of that, then you can hop in for your trade. But overall, though, we're looking for buys on US 30. Overall, looking for buys on US 30. All right, everybody clear? Drop a 1 if you're clear. Drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1, drop a 1, drop a 1. Let's go. If everybody clear, drop a 1 in the chat. Everybody else good? Yeah, that's it. Drop a 1, please. Yeah. All right. Can anybody tell me what we're noticing about this move as well? Why we wouldn't be looking for sales right now as well? Anybody? When we're in an uptrend, what do we focus on? When we're in an uptrend, I dropped a video the other day about the same thing. What do we focus on when we're in an uptrend? Anybody? Let's type it in the chat. There you go. There you go. We focus on the lows. No, Melford. When we're in a downtrend or uptrend, we focus on the lows. We focus on the lows. All right. Now, this low created this high, which created this low, but price has not broken any of these lows. Right? So what we need to see is for us to decide that we're going to start to sell, we need to see price break these lows, then reject from this area for us to continue down. So we have to see lows being broken before we decide to sell. If we don't see the lows being broken, then we can't sell, because price can very well tap right here and then push up. Price can even go as far as break right here and then push up. So what we need to see is we need to see price break, then reject, and then we get our entry, and then we go to sales. So there's no way we can sell right now until these lows are broken, because in an uptrend, we're focused on the lows, and in a downtrend, we're focused on the, what are we focused on the downtrend? What are we focused on? There we go. So in a downtrend, we're focused on the highs. As long as the highs are not broken, we're in a downtrend. Because if you focus on the lows, right? This is a low. This is a low. This is a low. This is a low. Right? Can't focus on this because we can't enter from right here. We have to enter from on the pullback. So when price pull back and creates a lower low, then we can jump in here and ride this momentum coming down. If you notice, if we try focus on the low right here, would I think that this is actually a high and price is reversing. But if we look, let me give you an example. Say for instance, we were right here. All right? If we were right here, and this was the previous low, right? And we're expecting price to retest this area to push down. Let's see what happens. Right off the bat, we could have thought that, hey, this is probably a higher low, because price push up, it rejected from where we initially wanted price to reject from, but then instead of rejecting, it went higher, right? So because it went higher, a lot of people might think, okay, maybe it has now changed to an uptrend, but that's not the case, because guess what? This area would be the previous high. That is why we focus on the highs, the lower highs. We focus on the highs, right? Because this area is the area that price needs to break out of to retest and then continue to push up. But if price don't break this area, there's no change of structure. There's no change of character. So let us look at the next candle. So this is how enough people get tricked. Enough people that know jump into this and say, all right, yeah, man, we're going to buy. And then after them try to buy this, you're going to see like a candle to stop them out right away. Then I'm going to say this now to start to happen. And then say them salt. This is where now people are going to say them salt, because guess what? This high was never violated. So imagine now you enter right here for price to continue to go up, only to see price start to reverse. and you wonder why it is that price start to reverse. The reason why price start to reverse is because it did not take out the previous highs. That is why when we're trading in a downtrend, we focus on the highs. So because this high wasn't taken out, this means that this is just a lower high for price to continue to go down. And as you can see, price now continues its momentum to the downside. Right? So how now do we know that it's going to change? The first thing that we look at is price hit in area, right, that we're expecting price to move from based on the past, right? So how do we know that price is not going to go up anymore? So remember, you have this high, you have this high, and you have this high that was created to create this low. So how do we know now that price is no longer going to continue to the downside? How do we know? How could we have known no that price is no longer going to continue to the downside? Anybody? How do we know that price is now not going to continue to the downside? How do we know that price has actually changed and now is moving to the upside? Thank you. Thank you, TK. So how we know that price has now shifted is because guess what? This was a high, price took it out, right? This was a high, price took it out. And also this was a high and price took that out as well. So once it starts the price breaking the highs, then you know that you're now in a uptrend or your downtrend has discontinued. So now what we need to do is we need to see price pull back. Price came and knocked out this high. Price came and knocked out this high. Right? So now what we're waiting on in an uptrend is see where the lows are. So now we wait on the lows. So we're waiting on the lows to be created. So now this is a low, right? This is a low. All right. Now we mean business because guess what? Price came and retested here. Because remember, even though this is a low and this is a low, the real low is actually all the way down here. So no structure has been formed. From it move right here to up here, no structure has been formed. So because no structure has been formed, what does price need to do? There's something that is missing right here. All of this area. What do we call this? What do we call all of this right here? This whole entire area right here. What do we call this? Anybody, what do we call this whole entire area right here? It starts with an I. All of this right here. What is this in price action? No, not retest zone. I don't know what chochi impulsive mean. I don't know what that means. M. Sorry. Yeah, I am. Anybody? No. B. This move right here, what all of this move here caused, what this caused in our price action. All of this move right here, what did it cause in our price action? It caused something called an, there you go, thank you. It caused an imbalance, right? As you can see, when you're looking at price is always balancing. So as it moves up, it comes down and it balances back. Right? So therefore, this whole area is an imbalance. So what we're expecting is that price is going to tap into this area before continuing up to clean up this imbalance before continuing up. So you're going to see price react to somewhere in this area. Then create a lower high. There you go. Before it moves up, it has to clean up some of the imbalance. So now it tapped here in this area. There's still a lot of imbalance below here. So price still needs to come down and tap into this imbalance. So if we took a trade off of this line, we're buying the trade to come down to at least here. As you can see, this is going to be like a magnet for price because there's still imbalance and price needs to balance. So as it comes down here and tap into this area, you're going to see it start moving back up because it has to fill this imbalance. Right? And then this is an imbalance that is left right here. This whole area is an imbalance that it left right here, so price have to come up here to balance back out. And as it reach, it's going to start to drop back from out of there. Right? So that is how we kind of gauge where price is going to go. So even when price pushed out from right here, a lot of persons would think, oh my God, FOMO, I'm going to miss this trade. I'm going to miss this trade. And then they jump in the trade right here. Right? They put the stop loss right there, so to aim for right here. And then what happens? Get stopped out. But for the smart trader now who waits for price to come into the imbalance, then now you see this engulfing candle because look, price tap in here and then this engulfing candle appear. The smart trader now would take their trade right here and push to the next zone. So this is what the smart trader would do. You understand? So when you're looking at areas to take your trade after a move has been made, I tell you guys all the time, stop run down the market. The market has to pull back. It has to pull back. It always does, right? So when you enter a trade, don't be afraid of, missing out on the trade. If it miss you, fine. But expect the pullback. And the pullback is a better way to enter the trade because guess what? If we had entered right here, our stop loss couldn't be right here. Our stop loss would have to be down here because this was the last point that price actually made a move. So even if we're supposed to take our trade right here, and we see this engulfing candle, right? Our stop loss could have been below right here because guess what? Price broke out and formed structure right here. So this could be a nice, well, I wouldn't take this trade, but just to show you that this is how you look at it. So price break out of here, right? And now this is the structure that it formed because guess what? It push up, and then pull back, and then push back up and break the previous high. And they will jump into this trade. That's a better opportunity than you trying to jump into this trade right here. which don't break the low, don't do nothing, and they jump in, and then you get stopped out. So always look for areas of imbalance when you're trading, and just wait for price to come where you're anticipating it will come, right? So similar to where we are with this, sorry. Right, so that is what we have here as an area of interest for price to pull back to. Here is another area of interest. And then this would be the high of price. So we need price to come back into this imbalance right here and then push up. So that's why we're waiting on price to actually come down here before we take a trade. Right? And if it moves before, so if it moves to here, then we're looking for it to pull back here to continue to push up. But it makes no sense taking a trade here. We have to be patient. So for those who trading US 30, you have to be patient. You have to wait. All right. Everybody clear? Just drop a 1 if everybody good to go. So drop a 1 if you're good to go, if you understand, and drop a 7 if you learn something new today. Drop a 7 if you learn something new today. Mad. All right, guys. So as it relates to your entries, somebody asked me about entries. So let's just use right here as an example, right? You want price to come to an area where you have marked out where you see price actually reacted from a few times, right? So you have here, so where price push up from, and when you push up from there, price actually broke structure. So this means that this is a very strong area because this area right here caused this high. So when price pulls back to that area, and then you see this green candle, that's your first sign to know that, okay, price is probably going to react to the opposite direction on this area. Then you go to the 1 hour. Then you go to the 1 hour. When you go to the 1 hour, then you look at the structure on the 1 hour. We see that price is ranging in this area right here. So remember, and I'm dropping a video again on this, right? The daily, weekly, monthly, and 4 hour is to understand what the trend is. You can also use a 4 hour and the 1 hour and sometimes a 30-minute to see structure. What is the structure, right? And then you go to the 30-minute, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and the 1 minute to start to find the entries. So now that we understand the trend is basically an uptrend, we look at the 4 hour for the structure and realize that this is a pullback based off of the fact that price reacted to here already. So this is a pullback, right? And now we look at the 1 hour to see what the structure is going to be. So what we want now is we want the 1 hour to either break to the downside or break to the upside. So we'll go to the 1 hour and we'll see the strong break to the upside. Now, what you'd want to see is you'd want to see a pullback to continue up. So we go down to the 13, let's say the 15 minutes because of the space. And what we want to see now is we want to see price pull back somewhere into this area right here before we take a trade, right? If it don't pull back, then we don't take the trade. but we have to wait for the pullback. Have to wait for the pullback. It don't pull back, oh well. There you go. So price tapped right here, right? It don't pull all the way back, but let us see if this is like what area is this on the Fibonacci? Well, there you go. It is a discount area on the Fibonacci. So this is actually a good place where you could enter because it tapped into the discount area. You could put a stop loss below there and target probably a 1 to 3, and then we'll see what happens, how it plays out. This is a 1 to 3. No, 1 to 3 be right here. There you go. So price did hit our 1 to 3. Let's see if it's going to go further. Let's go on the higher time frame to see what happens. Well, I get stopped out if it hold this trade. But this would be a nice 1 to 3 trade, right? Because we're looking at this zone as a zone where price would have to tap into. It didn't quite go there, but close enough. Close enough, right? So the point I was trying to make is that you need to wait for your price to pull back. Don't get FOMO. It's fine, right? You don't have to be thinking, oh, Jano, the movement gone. Price has to pull back. Even if you look here, right? You're trading here. Price tapped into this zone and made a reversal. It was right here, and then it broke out of right there. All you have to do is just start to wait on price to come back into that area. See price come back into that area, drop down on the lower time frame, maybe the 5 minute, and then see how it rejected from the area. Boom. That in itself is all you need to see. You enter, put your stop loss above there, and you draw it back all the way down to a 1 to 3. And then we'll see what happens. Let's go on the higher time frame. And as you can see, what's interesting too is that this is not where price is. And as you can see, it actually came back into this area again and start to push down, right? So don't be afraid, guys, that, when you see price start to move, you start to get afraid and start to jump out of a trade or jump into a trade. When price don't form structure, you have to wait until structure is formed. Right? For me, this is a no trade area because price is ranging in this area. There is a consolidation, but you get the gist, right? You want to trade when price does its pullback. Look at this move. Price was ranging in here. And it did this nice push. But it has not come back and retested here. So you just wait for the retest. And there you go. The retest is right here. Now we have price created this here right here. Let's see what happens. Boom, it break out. Are we going to try and jump in for a trade? No, we wait on the retest again. If the retest come, it come. If it don't come, then we just don't enter. It's simple. but we have to wait for the retest. Now that price has broken here, right? Do we wait on the retest again? We have to wait on the retest. Boom, retest come. It never give us no confirmation that it want to continue up. No, our next level is right here. Now we want to see our price act right here. There you go. Right? Wanted it to actually come down some more to about right here, but it never come down. I'm not sure why it reacted right here instead of, probably have to look on the 4 hour. Yeah, I would have expected price to come down a little bit more. So I wouldn't have been in this trade because I would want to see price come down a little bit more. Right? So yeah, so you have to wait on your break and retest. You have to wait on the break and retest. If you're a breakout trader, you're running a risk because if you take the breakout trade, right? To me, breakout trade are typically moves that are what you call scalp moves. If you're scalping a breakout trade, then fine. You can take a scalp on a breakout, but you can't take a scalp. You can't take a scalp and not. You can't hold a trade on a breakout because there's a great chance that price is going to come and retest and you're going to be back in drawdown. So the best thing to do is just to wait until it comes back because it makes no sense you're in a trade, price got all the way out and you have to watch it come all the way back. Might as well you wait for it to come all the way back, you jump in on it and then you just ride the wave go down. Simple as that. All right, so whoever did ask me about entries, I hope that helped you. You wait until the price reaches to your zone. You look for rejection from the zone. You look for an engulfing candle at the zone. You look for formation at the zone, like a head and shoulders, a double bottom, a double top, whatever it is, and then you can enter. But you have to, the biggest problem that people have when it comes on to taking a trade on your zone is you're not waiting for the confirmation or you're not waiting for your pullback. You have to wait for the pullback and then wait for the confirmation, right? You're not always going to win the trade, but at least you have a greater opportunity to win when you wait on the pullback and you wait on your confirmation. A lot of people lose money in trading because they're not patient. They don't want to wait, right? As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, the trade that I'm in now on GJ, the reason why I'm down in that trade is because I wasn't patient. I was supposed to actually wait. And funny enough, guys, I'm actually just down because I was down 8,000. Now I'm just down $2,000 on that trade. So there's a great chance that that trade is going to play out. As you can see, price is actually moving back down on GJ. Right? So I'm expecting price to at least, let's go here. So I'm expecting price to at least come down here, break here, before pushing up if it's going to push up, right? Or it might continue to range in this area. But if price comes down here, because my entry is about here, my sell entry is about here. So if price comes down here and starts to reject, and I'm going to close out of the trade. Right? But I'm expecting that price should actually come somewhere down here to fill this imbalance, because as you can see, there's an imbalance here before pushing up. All right. So if you're not in sales, I wouldn't advise you to jump in sales right now. I'd say wait until the price reaches down into this area before you make a decision as to whether or not you're going to sell. All right, peeps. So yeah, that's it for today. That's our Sunday chart breakdown. Remember, guys, please to like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, learn to trade JA. You know what I mean? Giving you value every single week as often as I can. About to drop the course, still having some trouble uploading the courses. And I'm going to be dropping the signals group, still sorting out the payment for that. But this week for sure, I'm going to work very hard to get it up and running. So for those who have been asking me, I'm actually working on getting that up and running for this week. All right. So please continue to support the movement, guys. Please just continue to share all them things there. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, you can, but all right. So Tiana Brown asks, is it still safe to take an entry on a higher time frame? For example, you maintain structure on a 4 hour time frame, and you see a setup. Can you still execute the trade without dropping on a lower time frame? Yes, you can, Tiana. But here's the thing: when you enter on a 4 hour time frame, that's more of like a swing trade, right? Because let me show you, right? This 4 hour, say for instance, you entered on this candle right here, right? And remember, I always tell you guys that, I did a video on it recently, right? We never, ever, 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 sorry. Yeah, we never, ever, ever go for less than um, we never ever go for less than 1 to 3, right? So say for instance, you took a trade, and this is the 4 hour time frame. You took a trade here, right? Your stop loss would have to be below here, and your take profit would have to be somewhere up here for 1 to 3. Now, this is what you call a swing trade. 1 second. Right. So this is what you call a swing trade, which means that because it's 4 hours, you have to wait probably a couple of days, even a week, to see your actual trade play out. So look at how many days it took for us to reach right here. So say for instance you entered here, it would have taken you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days just to reach right here. So if you're okay with holding a trade for 5 days, then by all means, you know what I mean? But I am an intraday trader. I don't like to hold trades long because anything can happen in the market, right? So what going down to the lower time frame does is that it gives you two things. One, it gets you an in and out of the market real quick. The most you might take in a trade is probably a day or two, probably a week, depending on how good the trade is going. But you don't want to be in a trade. For me personally, as an intraday trader, I don't want to be in a trade for more than two days max. If I'm in a trade for over a week, it's because I'm either down or I am up a lot and I've already surpassed what I wanted to actually take from the market. And my stop loss is in profit at a 1 to 3, and I'm just riding the wave of the market to see how far it will go. And that's the only time I'd hold a trade. But apart from that, I want to just go in and out of the market because I have more opportunities when I go in and out of the market. So that's the first thing. The second thing about going down to the lower time frame is that you get a better entry, so you can get more in terms of your leverage. So instead of using, like for instance, if you're supposed to trade this on GJ, you might have to use a 1 lot, right? But I can get down to right here and use a 1 lot and get a 1 to 7, while would have traded off of this candle and only get a 1 to 3. So when I go to the lower time frame, I can get a 1 to 7 move, which is 7 times the amount of risk that I'm having, while you only get a 1 to 3. So we're going down to the lower time frames gives you a better opportunity because guess what? You're able to maximize on your profits, and you're able to actually get in and out of the trade faster. So your 1 to 3 that you are waiting to get, I'm already getting 1 to 7 out of it. So I get my 1 to 3 already, and I'm good. And I'm just watching it to play out and see if I can get the 1 to 7. So yes, you can take the trade on the higher time frame, but I would say it would be best to just take the trade on take the entry on the lower time frame. That gives you more leverage, it gives you more room, and it helps you to actually be more aggressive in terms of getting your profits and so on. All right, I hope that helps you. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. So this would be an example of what I'm talking about, right? So you enter, say for instance, you had this breakout right here on the 4 hour. You could have gone down to the 5 minute, right? And gotten an entry. So you have the breakout. This would have been your retest on the 5 minute. And then you could have gotten an entry from right here. Your stop loss below here. And then you're going all the way now. So if I took this trade from down there, I could have made basically a 1 to 11 based off of the retest of the 5 minute right here. Right? So you just have more opportunities when you go to the lower time frame and get a lower time frame entry. And if I wanted, I could get a 1 to 3 here. Right? Then price move up, starts to do its thing, do a breakout and a retest, and I could get a next 1 to 3 here. So while you're still waiting on one trade, I've gotten basically 2 trades, both for 1 to 3, which would give me a 1 to 6. So I hope you understand. Let me know if you understand. Good to go, Tiana. Understand? Let me know. I know Tiana disappear from my star. All right. I hope you understand. Hope you're clear as to why. Anybody else have any questions before I go? Okay. Happy to explain that to you, Tiana. All right, so let me explain to you. So what Tiana is saying that sometimes you get confused by the time frames, right? Sometimes the structure is showing the market is in an uptrend on the higher time frame, and when they drop down to the lower time frame, it's bearish. All right, so that is because you have to understand, Tiana, that price moves like this, right? There's something that you call time frame correlation, right? So this is the 4-hour time frame. So this is the 4-hour time frame, right? So this is the 4-hour time frame. This is what you're seeing, price moving bullish. However, when you go to the lower time frame, you might see this, which is price moving bearish. Let's put this in red. All this is the pullback. So on the lower time frame, this bearish move that you're seeing is the pullback. And then when the pullback happens, you're going to start to see the bullish move happen again. So when you're on the lower time frame, you're going to see it actually going in the opposite direction from the higher time frame. But that's just because it's a pullback. So what you want to do is, if you're seeing the higher time frame bullish, you want to wait until the lower time frame starts to turn bullish as well. And that's when you enter. Right. As Javan says, sometimes it's a week. So therefore, this is a better explanation for it. So this is the 4-hour, right? The 4-hour is basically this. The 4-hour is basically this. This is one leg of the 4-hour. This is the push-up, right? And then on the lower time frame, no, all right, let me see if I can explain it a better way for you. This is the push-up. on the lower time frame, you're going to see this on the lower time frame. And then once it reaches the pullback, you're going to see the push up again. And then it started this on the lower time frame. And then it started this on the higher time frame. Then it started this on the lower time frame. Then it started this on the higher time frame. Right? But all this is on the 4 hour is basically this. Boom. 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 So therefore, on the higher time frame, which is the 4 hour, you're just seeing big candles. But on the lower time frame, these smaller candles you're seeing going a downtrend. And then once the trend changes, it moves up. So this is why when the price pulls back, we're able to take a trade on the smaller time frame and then take the trade up and be able to get a nice push to the upside. Because we're waiting on the pullback to happen. And when we see on the lower time frame, the change of character on the lower time frame, meaning that the lower time frame is now in an uptrend and the higher time frame is now in an uptrend, that's when you enter the market. So you wait for the pullback, and as soon as you see the lower time frame going in the direction of the higher time frame, that's when you take your entry. So I hope that is clear to you. Right. So before you take the entry, the pullback has to happen to your area of interest, because let's say, for instance, let me see if I can find a more practical example for you, right? So, all right, boom. Let's use right here. Let's use right here as an example, right? Right here as an example. So this is the first move on the 4 hour. So we're playing the 4 hour, boom. Push to the upside. This is still an uptrend on the 4 hour, right? So this is the move. Boom. We still don't get the pullback yet. Let's wait for a pullback. See the pullback here now? So this is the push, and then this is the pullback, right? So let's look at the pullback. Let's now look at the pullback, what the pullback look like on the 5-minute time frame. So remember, you know, the 4 hour that we're looking at a while ago, it was a move to the upside. Now, what we want is we want to see price come back to our area of interest on the 4 hour. Remember that this line right here would be our area of interest on the 4 hour. So this is our 4 hour area of interest. So we want price to pull back right here. But when we'll go on the lower time frame, we're going to see the candles moving down to bearish, because it has to move bearish for the pullback before it can move back up, right? So we'll go to the 5-minute time frame. As you can see, you're going to see starts the price actually going bearish. So you're going to now see a bearish move on price. So now it's bearish, right? But as soon as it tap into our area of interest, that's now when we start to look for price to change. So remember, you know, price was bearish, you know, look at this now. So price was bearish, you know, it'll come down, price is bearish. Let me change the color of this. So price is bearish. Let's make this white. So price is bearish right now because this is the pullback. But now it reached the area of interest. We noticed we need to see now price moving back, transitioning back to a push back up. So this is what we want to see price start to do. So now that it reached our point of interest, we have to now wait until it start to break the highs. If you're on here earlier, you'd have heard me tell you that, hey, we'll focus on the lows and the highs. When it come onto the downtrend, we'll look at the lower highs, and we'll come onto the uptrend, we'll look at the lows, right? So now we want to see what price does when it comes into the area. So price is currently ranging. right? So this is ranging. This is all accumulation right here. So we can't make any move right now because guess what? Price is neither bearish nor bullish right now. So we can't even trade. So we just have to just wait until the price shows us that it wants to move in the opposite direction. So price breaks this high, this lower high that was created. As you can see now, this now start to transition into an uptrend. So this is now what you want to see price actually start to do. Because now that it reached a point of interest, it means that the pullback has been completed and now it's going to transition into a move to the upside, right? So now this is when both the lower time frame and the higher time frame correlate, because guess what? It reached the pullback and now it's going to transition up. So now this is the time now you want to take your entry. So if you take your entry right here and you put a stop loss below here, which would have been your point of interest where price is moving from, and then this, remember that this is the area that price starts to pull back from. So therefore, in an uptrend, price would more likely at least break back the top of this area before it does anything else. So you're going to move your 1 to 3 to above here, right? Because the price would have broken out here and then we just watch and wait. So now, as it's playing out, both the uptrend and both the higher time frame and the lower time frame is correlating. So therefore, this is now a push up, while on the 4 hour, you can see the push up as well. On the 4 hour, look, you see, candle move. Right from our area of interest, the candle is moving up. So we're expecting the 4 hour to at least tap up here. So on the 4 hour, it's bullish. On the 5 minute, it's bullish. So the 4 hour, bullish candle, 5 minute candle, uptrend. So now both time frames are correlated, and this is how you win your trades. By waiting for the time frames to be correlated, by waiting on both the 4 hour and the 5 minute time frame to actually correlate. And then you grab your trade and you ride the trade all the way up to the top. And you just patiently wait for price to hit your take profit. And there you go. Right? So it's just a matter of understanding time frame correlation. Right? Whenever you see the 4 hour moving up or bullish, when you see it coming back, it's just the lower time frames creating a reversal for price to continue to push up. So that is what you do. You wait for price to get to your area of interest and you wait for it to change structure. So right here, you can see price was going to the uptrend right here. Then it's transitioned into a downtrend. And then transition back into an uptrend. So this would have been the 4 hour push. And then this would have been the 4 hour pullback. So this is the 4 hour pullback. This is the 4 hour push. This is the 4 hour push. All right. Everybody clear? Everybody clear on that? Everybody clear on time frame correlation? All right, so Tiana, you're good to go now. Yeah, man, perfect. So you have to understand time frame correlation. That is all. You just need to understand time frame correlation. So as the higher time frame is moving up, what you want to do is when you go to the lower time frame, you wait for the lower time frame to now line up with the higher time frame. So once you see the lower time frame going up, after you've seen that the higher time frame was going up, that is when you take a trade. And that's how you get the best risk to reward. All right. Cool. So anybody else have any other questions before I go? Awesome. Glad I could help. So all you have to do now, Tiana, is that you just go and just back test. You work on your 4 hour. You look at your 4 hour zones for the pullback. So if your zone for the 4 hour would have been, say for instance, the say for instance, This is your 4 hour zone. This is the pullback. Because price actually push, pull back, push, pull back, right? And then it's reacting from here. So what you want to know is price to do something like this. So you want the price to break out. Once it break out, you wait for it to come back. See? So it break out, you wait for it to come back. So now this becomes your area of interest. This is the pullback on price. After you push out, you're waiting for it to come back to here. And then you go to the lower time frame. Once you see the reaction on the lower time frame, let's go to the 5 minute. Once you see the 5 minutes start to look like it's making structure, there. So price break this high, it start to make structure now. As you can see, the structure start to change. You're going low, now you transition. This is now when you know that everything coordinated. You can even go as far as take your entry right here. Put your stop loss below there because the pullback would have been complete and then you just watch the rest of the wave go up. Because no price has transitioned into an uptrend. So would have entered a little bit too early here, but I'm just giving you as an example. This is now the push on the 4 hour. And as we put it on the 4 hour, you see the movement to the upside. Well, obviously, would I have to do a little bit more analysis, but you get it. Based on what's happening on the 4 hour, you wait for it to tap an area. So like here would have been the area. I know it should actually push to the upside, but it didn't. And the reason why it didn't is because this is actually a lower. Let's see. This is actually a retest of this area. So it has actually transitioned into a downtrend because guess what? Price break here, pull back, break, and now we'll probably wait for a retest of right here for price to continue to push down. Didn't get the retest, no, price is actually moving up. Yeah, but well, I mean, I hope you get the gist though. You just have to just wait for price to reach to the to your area of interest. The reason why price moving like this is because it's basically ranging. So it's not giving you a clear move because it's ranging right now. So there's no clear trend on price right now. So it's just ranging. But yeah, you get the gist. All right. So yeah, peeps, you don't know. That's my time. Been here almost 2 hours with you. Big up on yourself. Remember to follow the movement, join the movement, continue to support. There are a lot of other videos that I created, guys, like market structure video. There's a video on understanding candle anatomy, which is a very good video. So please just go through the channel and watch the videos in full. There's a lot of gems. Also, you can look back at some of the previous Sunday chart breakdowns. I dropped some gems on that as well. If you want, you can rewatch it. And some of the concepts you can just go and test it. Remember, guys, that everybody's strategy is different. It's not about the strategy, it's about your risk management and your psychology. That's the number one thing that will make you the best trader that you can be because everybody's strategy works. Your strategy that you're doing, it works. Once it has a 50% success rate minimum, it works. But what is important is that you manage your psychology, you practice patience, and don't be afraid to trade, right? So, the best thing to do is to just wait until your opportunity comes and you execute. All right. So thanks a lot for chilling with me. Until next time, guys, learn to trade JA. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you next week, Sunday. All right. Peace.